Now, as we start on Chapter 5, Section 1, we're going to be dealing with exponents. Now, if you're good on exponents, again, chances are just this mini lecture, which reviews some of the major topics, will be enough. If not, you need to read your textbook. And again, I have a video on that goes through it in great detail. This is just a lighter approach. Well, for some background then as we go on. Now, if we have the number like we see in number 1a here, 3 times 3 times 3, and we want to write this using exponents, exponents are a shortcut to showing this. Now notice we have 3 as a factor 3 times, which says multiply 3 times 3 is 9, times 3 is 27. So this is going to equal out here, 27. But a shortcut way to write this is to take the factor itself, which is the 3, and we're going to call that the base. And how many times do we use that factor as the number of times we're going to multiply it? And it's 3. And that's what we put up here. So this is 3 to the 3 is a shortcut way, where this 3 up here is the exponent. Now, 3 to the third is an operation that gives us this product, but this is the factors we use to get this. So we evaluated the first. Now the second is -7 times -7. Now notice negative times negative will make it a positive. We don't write that, and that'll be a 49. Now in letter C, as we do it, we have to keep this in mind. This is a -6, and it's to the second power. But what is our base here? Is the negative included in the base? And the answer is no. So it's going to be 6 times 6 is 36. Then we apply the negative. So something like this is sort of a little tricky, that you square the base, then you apply the negative. Okay? And we'll go on. Now for letter D, we want to evaluate. We have here a -4. Now they're saying y is a -5. So put it in a parenthesis that we will square. So -5 times -5 makes this a positive 25 times a -4 gives us a -100. Now, some of the other rules, we'll move it up a little bit. Is when we are multiplying a variable that is raised to various powers, if the base is the same, the method here is we just add the exponents. So this is going to be x to the 8th. Now we multiply the numbers. 4 times 9 is 36. Z, 3 plus 5 is 8. Now a good technique that we talked about earlier is figure out what will the sign of the answer be when you finished. Well, here it's a negative times negative, so that's going to be a positive. So we don't have to worry about the sign. It's going to be a positive 15. X3 plus 4 is 7. Y2 plus 6 is 8. And it doesn't hurt to go back and check. Now here we have three terms that are factors in a sense. They're not really terms, they're factors. But then there's a negative times a negative. So two negatives. This answer will be a positive. So we can go 9 times 11 is 99 times 2 is 198. And now we just add up all our exponents. A, now there is a 1 by the A. Don't forget that. There isn't one listed. There's a 1 there. So 1 and 3 is 4. B is 2 and 1 is 3 and 2 is 5. And then C is 4 here. There's no C there. And that'll be a 9. And it doesn't hurt to check these. So the rule, if you want to know the rule here, is a to the n times a to the m becomes a to the n plus m. That's the rule. You're going to add exponents. Now this rule, when you have a to the m, now outside the parenthesis, they are raising it to a power. This is what we have here. In this case, we multiply, and the answer is a to the mn. That's the rule. Notice the difference. Here these are not necessarily raising a power to a power, but here we are. So here we're going to multiply. And again, some students on their final messed up on this. This is x to the 21st, y to the 33rd. Now there's a 1 by each one of these, so this is x to the 5th, y to the 5th. Now there's a 1 by the 5, so this becomes 5 to the 3rd. What is 5 to the 3rd? That's 125. And then now these we just multiply. Remember there's a 1 there. And that's our answer. Now, you may not remember the word, but a quotient is a fraction. So how are these done here? Well, this is going to be a -7. It's inside the parenthesis. So we're squaring a -7. -7 times -7 is a positive 49. A to the 6th, B to the 6th. Multiplying exponents. Now keep in mind there's a 1 by all of these. So this is a to the 7th, b to the 7th, over c to the 7th. Now here's a good chance to practice when we're raising a negative to an even power. If it's an odd power, the answer is going to be negative. But a negative raised to an even power will always be positive. So our sign here is positive. And 3 to the 4th power is 81. X to the 4th, y to the 4th, over z to the 12th. And the same here. 2 to the -2 squared is going to be a positive. So this answer becomes a positive. So 3 to the 2nd is going to be 9, x to the 4th, multiplying these, y to the 8th, and this we said became positive, c to the 6th. Now again, all of these are down at the bottom, so you can check them. And if you need to go back and repeat, why, that's fine. Okay, we can see them now. Now the quotient rule is, let me write that out here for you. If you have a to the n over a to the m, what we do is when we bring this up, remember we were adding when we multiply, so when we divide, we subtract. This becomes a to the m. Well, let's check that out here. A to the n minus m. That when this exponent crosses this division bar, it changes its sign. And that's what we get. So we can just do some of these. The 2 is going to come up as a minus 2. This gives us x to the 3rd. Now they also want us to simplify. We can't do any more there, but here we get a negative 6. And this is going to be a minus 9, which will give us a 2 here. 11 minus 9 is 2, which is a negative 6 times a negative 6, a positive 36. Now, sometimes you can do it mentally. 8 from 12 is going to be x to the 4th. 4 from 5 is 1. Just a plain y, subtracting. Now here we're going to do some canceling. 2 goes into there 4 times. 2 goes into there 9 times. So our basic fraction is 4/9. Now a to the 1st, this will give us a to the 2nd. B to the 5th from 8. B to the 3rd. And c to the 2nd from c to the 3rd is c, but all over 9. So this is our answer. Okay, this is a good one to know. You might get one like this on your test and later your final. Anything whose base is to the 0 power, by definition, is 1. And the reason for that is a to the 3rd divided by a to the 3rd. Anything divided by itself, we know, is 1. And if we subtract the 3 from this, we get a to the 0 power, don't we? So a to the 0 is 1, as is a to the 3rd divided by a to the 3rd is 1. So we can just give the general rule, except 0. 0 to any 0 power, we can't do that. So any number other than 0. Any number to the 0 power is 1. This is a fraction to the 0 power. It's 1. This is this combination of factors, but it's to the 0 power in a parenthesis is 1. Now here's where it gets a little tricky. This is x to the 0 power. That's going to be 1. 9 to the 0 power. That's going to be 1. So this simplified is actually 2. So they get a little tricky, and you'll see that in your practice and later your quiz bee. All right, now for some mixed practice. Let's see here. We got 8 to the 2nd. That's going to be 64. We have a to the 3rd to the 2nd is going to be a to the sixth. You multiply. B to the fourth, and this is just a 1. 1 to the second is 1, and we don't write it. So this is our answer. All right, this one now, notice it's a -3 to the third power. So what sign will this answer have? And the answer is it's going to be a negative here. Okay, so 3 to the third is 27. 2 to the third is 2 to the third is 8. And this gives me 8 to the second. By the way, you could do some canceling here, or you could do it later. So we're doing it later now. So this is going to be x to the sixth, y to the 15th. This is x to the third. This is z to the sixth. Now, notice we have x to the third, x to the sixth. So this is going to end up being, as we subtract 3 from that, this will be x to the third there. So -27/8, x to the third here, y to the 15th, and this is over z to the sixth. So that was b down there. Let's check that here. Oh, I see they have a little error in the answer key because 2 to the third is 8, not 4. So this is correct. All right, now we're going to do some multiplication. Negative times a negative. That will give me a positive 24. A, now we're just adding to the fifth. B to the second. C to the 10th. Perfect. Now, here, since they are different powers, we have to be a little careful about this here. This is going to be 12 to the fourth, a to the fourth, b to the fourth, all over 6 to the second, a to the fourth, b to the fourth here. So all of these cancel out. So you can put in your calculator 12 to the fourth divided by, this is, I know this one offhand is 36. Remember, this is exponential notation there. And I believe you would get the answer of 576. And you can try that out. Okay, this wasn't too long, 18 minutes. And we'll go on to our next topic.